Okay, gentlemen, that is the Examcraft pre 2023. So I'll just run down through a couple of these here. So question 1 was describe 2 ways that wireless headsets have improved the in-game experience of online gaming. Okay, so one thing is mobility. Okay, so you can, move around with them easily. 2 is blocking out external noise. Okay, so if you live by the side of the road or in a city, you've got a dog barking, your mother is telling you to tidy up your room, whatever the hell it is, so that's good. Very good sound quality. Okay, so good quality sound. Okay, so all of that kind of stuff. Right, so I said describe 2, so you'd want to kind of write 3 or 4 lines for it. Don't just write a one-word answer there. If you say mobility allows you to get up and walk around or move around or stand up or change positions, no wires in your way. You need to expand on these things. Anyway, B. Explain the process of quality control in manufacturing. Now I'm going to just talk, I think, more through these rather than writing down. So quality control is procedures to make sure that stuff does what it's supposed to do, that it works properly, that it doesn't fail. So there's different ways to do it. You could do like spot checks or random samples. So you might check 1 in every 100. You might test it. Or you could check every single one of them if you wanted. Like if it was welding or something like that, you could x-ray everything. Or you could do visual inspections. Okay, but so it's a set of checks or procedures or tests to make sure that stuff works the way it's supposed to work and does what it's supposed to do, and that it's safe. Okay, so all the tests we talked about there, like toughness testing and hardness testing and impact testing, x-rays, ultrasounds, visual checks, all that kind of stuff there to make sure that stuff works. Now, the main advantages of using pneumatic power tools. Okay, so no sparks. Okay, is one, and that's good if you're working around, say, petrol or gas or oil. If you're working around tanks and stuff, or inside in tanks and all that kind of stuff there. Okay, so plus it can be stored. So the pressure builds up in a compressor, and the compressor needs to only come on maybe every 15 or 20 minutes for a few minutes there, so you can store the air pressure, and it can be used underwater and around water safely, much safer than having electricity around water. So the fourth one there about disc brakes. So where a brake pad is pressed against the disc to slow down the vehicle upon braking, so suggest a suitable metal for the material of the disc. Okay, so brake discs can be used or can be made from cast iron or ceramic coated aluminium or stainless steel. So yeah, you'd see them in stainless steel, but cast iron as well. So the holes then are for better grip and cooling. It cools quicker as well with all the holes in it. either give 2 reasons why stainless steel is suitable for the manufacture of surgical devices. So it's not toxic. One, it doesn't rust, and it keeps its edge, and it's not toxic. Okay, so basically it won't, give infections to patients if you're, cutting them open or working inside their stomach. Doesn't contaminate, that kind of thing. Now, it says here with the diagram, know the difference between a clearance fit and an interference fit. Okay, so a clearance fit, if I was to draw here a hole, okay, so that there is basically a section there through a hole, and if we draw a shaft coming down here then, that is smaller than the hole. So that shaft there is clearly smaller than the hole, so that's a clearance fit. Okay, whereas over here at the other side, I might just squish in here. So I'm going to put a section through a piece again. So here is a hole, and we want to draw the shaft now a tiny bit bigger. Okay, so the shaft here is bigger, so interference, the shaft is bigger than the hole. Now be careful now, because they said with diagrams, it looks for diagrams. Okay, so clearance, the shaft is smaller than the hole, so it's loose going in. Interference, the shaft is bigger, so you'd have to heat up the part with the hole there, so it would expand, or just press it in with a hydraulic press, or beat it in with a sledge or something like that. Okay, the next one there is the inventors there. So Porsche is German, and famous for inventing the Volkswagen Beetle, and Mercedes as well, and stuff like that. But so a German inventor back in like the probably the early 1900s and so on there out in Germany. And he also invented a petrol electric car back then. He was the first one to do it. Now, Lamar was a film producer, and radio frequencies was his thing. And finally there, Nicholas Otto comes up a good bit there, and he was the first person to invent the four-stroke engine. Then moving on there, so anodizing aluminium is used for making hiking sticks, and outline one reason for anodizing aluminium. Well, it makes it more colourful and way harder than aluminium, so it doesn't scratch as easily, and it's also more adhesive to stick stickers or paint logos onto it or stuff like that, or if you want to paint it even. So yeah, any of those things there. The hiking stick is telescopic to cater for people of different heights. So explain with a diagram how the hiking stick may be designed to accommodate telescopic adjustment. So I think what I'd be trying to say here, like one easy way of doing it is, like if you just showed a bit like crutches there, I'll just show a tube going into another tube here, like that, And what you could show then there is a couple of holes on that there to be adjusted, and some way of stopping it here then. So like you could, if you wanted, show something like some kind of a maybe triangular so if I just put in there some kind of a triangular just a tightening knot there. Okay, so you'd have an adjusting screw. Now you could also have a kind of a spring-loaded clip as well, like you'd see with crutches and stuff like that. Alright, that might have been off camera there now for that, so sorry lads if it was. So there's just an adjustable you know, section of the walking stick there for that. Now, two reasons why cast iron is used to make garden ornaments. Now, one is good castability. Now, what that means is that it's very watery when it's poured. Okay, so it takes a very good shape of whatever the mold is that it's being poured into. Now, another one that it's heavy and it doesn't rust easily. Then, what's a semiconductor? Now, you'd hear about semiconductors there, like silicon. So, they're basically used for microchips. Because microchips used to be called silicon chips, I suppose, once upon a time. So it's not a good conductor of electricity or a good insulator, but it's kind of somewhere in between. And let's say if you add an electron to it, it causes kind of it can count as you add electrons or pulses to it. So it can be used for counting or for controlling motors and all that kind of stuff there. So semiconductors are not as good a conductor as like copper or silver or anything like that, but they're not like wood or plastic that don't conduct either. And I suppose they allow more control then when you run current through them. Describe two factors to be considered when selecting the appropriate materials for Formula 1 car. Well, one thing that's a huge thing in it is the weight, but the other one is the strength. Okay, because you want it to be light, but you need stuff to be strong as well. So they would be two of the main ones there. And finally there, identify two materials used for the body of a Formula 1 car. So you would have aluminium alloys, probably for the engine and chassis and stuff like that, and carbon fiber for the bodies, used for the bodies, and Kevlar maybe as well, which is really strong plastic that's used for bulletproof vests, for maybe panels and stuff like that as well. So that there anyway is question 1 from the Examcraft Pre for 2023, and that's something to be doing there, a good start anyway to revision.